guys, it's Destiny, and today we are going to be showing off Cerydra on the Creator Experience server, which will feature a showcase as well as just going over her kit. And before we get into today's video, I would love to know one of your favorite video games. And lastly, if you do enjoy videos like these, consider subscribing to see more content from me, leave a like to support the video, and now let's get straight into it. I thought real quick before we can get into the showcase for today, we can actually take a look at Cerydra's kit and also just explain factors of her kit as well. So Cerydra will be a Wind Harmony character who can enable an ally on the team to use their skill twice with her charge mechanic. Her charge mechanic consists of military merit, and then once it is upgraded, it upgrades to Parige. I'm hoping I said that correctly. But whenever Cerydra uses her skill, she'll be able to grant an ally with military merit, and she'll also be able to give herself 1 point of charge. Once you reach 6 points of charge, then you'll automatically upgrade the character's military merit to Parige, and this will also dispel their crowd control debuffs, and now they'll also be considered to have military merit as well, which does include some factors of what buffs she does provide. So when the character has now the upgrade of this buff, it'll increase the crit damage for their dealt skill damage by 72%, and it'll also increase their ult type res pen by 10%, which will result in, of course, their skill now dealing more damage onto the enemy. And then after you use this duplicate skill, you will consume 6 points of charge and go back to the military merit buff instead. She can also hold 8 points of charge, but you will only need 6 points of charge in order to upgrade the buff. This is going to be the way though that you can take advantage of the duplicate skill, which can be very powerful for certain damage dealers, Anaxa for instance, Phainon, and so on. I have talked about some other synergies as well in my previous videos, but this is just for an idea. In the case of Phainon, for instance, he can now use the double meteor enhanced skill with the duplicate skill, and then in the case of Anaxa, he can now do 4 skills in a row. And it is also worth noting with one of her traces, when she does use her skill on an ally, it'll increase their speed by 20 for them as well as Cerydra herself, and this will last for 3 turns. Additionally, whenever that character also uses their basic attack or skill, it'll also regenerate 5 energy for Cerydra, which helps with getting back her ultimate, as her ultimate does have a 130 energy cost. As for what benefit her ultimate provides, she will be able to gain 2 points of charge, which can assist you with getting closer to the 6 points you'll want for the duplicate skill, and she'll also be able to deal wind damage onto all enemies. And if there for some reason is a character on the field that does not have military merit, then she'll prioritize giving it to the character in the first position of the team lineup. The first position would be referring to the character in Phainon's slot. So whatever character is in the first position, she would put the military merit buff onto, with her ultimate in the case of if a character didn't have it. Now, another way to actually put it onto a character is by using her technique. After using her technique, when switching to the active character, military merit will transfer to the current active character, which at the start of battle, she'll automatically use 1 skill on that character with military merit without consuming any skill points. So her technique is a great way to just immediately get this buff onto an ally. And as for her talent, this will give additional buffs to the character with military merit, which will increase their attack equal to an amount of 24% of Cerydra's attack. And when that character uses a basic attack or skill, Cerydra will gain 1 point of charge. After the character with military merit uses an attack, Cerydra will additionally deal an instance of wind damage equal to 60% of her attack, and this effect can trigger up to 20 times. This trigger count though will reset when she uses her ultimate, and for her last 2 traces, for every 100 of Cerydra's attack that exceeds 2000, it'll increase her crit damage by 18% up to a maximum of 360%. So to maximize this trace right here, you would want to go for 4000 attack, and for her final trace, it'll increase her crit rate by 100%, and when her charge is below its maximum, Cerydra gains 1 charge when the character with military merit uses their ultimate, but this can only trigger once per battle. So let's say you are using her with Anaxa, for instance, and Anaxa uses his ultimate in the beginning of the fight. This will actually be able to gain Cerydra 1 point of charge. And in the case of Phainon, let's say you had 5 out of 6 points of charge necessary in order to use his ultimate. In this case, when you are using his ultimate to now depart all allies, you still will be able to gain that point of charge if it is his first time using his ultimate, which now results in you you being able to take advantage of his enhanced skill with his double meteors. So that's something definitely to keep in mind of, is that the first ultimate of the character with military merit will be able to gain 1 point of charge. But when we look at Cerydra's kit, she is a single target buffer, and when we take a look at her buffs, it would consist of attack based on her own attack. We also have increasing the crit damage or the skill damage of an ally, increasing their ult type res pen, and then also being able to increase their speed by 20. So that would be Cerydra's primary buffs, and then depending on what light cone option you have, that can also provide some buffing capabilities as well. Her signature light cone will be able to give her 64% attack, which is great for reaching that 4,000 goal, or of course even going higher, as her attack buff is based on her own attack. And then also when she does use her ultimate, she'll recover 1 skill point, so this can help the skill point usage of the team depending on who you're using. And when the wearer uses the skill on an ally, it'll also increase their skill damage dealt by 54% for 3 turns. So this is a big boost right here for their skill damage. So her light cone has some pretty nice buffing capabilities. And then we also have this light cone right here, which she can also use, and this is actually a free-to-play light cone in the current event in Star Rail, which can increase her attack by 32%, and then when she uses her skill, it'll increase her attack by 16% and can stack up to 3 times. So this is another option you can consider. And for those wondering why you would want to use her skill again, one reason can definitely be that she'll be able to gain 1 point of charge herself by doing this, which can assist you with getting closer to the 6 points of charge you would need in order to take advantage of the duplicate skill. So that's one reason right there you would want to use her skill. And yeah, this light cone right here is a nice option, but here are also just some alternatives you can consider as well. But now that we've gone over Cerydra's kit and her traces, let's actually take her into action now into a fight. I think she was actually about to sneeze, which is adorable. But real quick, we're just going to use all our techniques, and with Cerydra we can just use her technique. And now the active character, we can just swap that around, and that's who will get military Parige. And now let's use Phainon. There we go. And now we can just get straight into it. Alrighty, so there we go. We have the buff now on Phainon. If we take a look right here, he now will have that attack increase, and then also Cerydra being able to deal an additional instance of damage. He'll also have that 20 speed boost thanks to her technique, being able to essentially use her skill on him without consuming a skill point. So what we're going to start off by doing is using Remembrance Trailblazer's skill like so. With Cerydra, what we are going to do is just basic attack, and now with Phainon we can use his skill, boom. With Sunday we can advance forwards Phainon, and now we can also use Sunday's ultimate. We just want to get all these buffs active on Phainon right here. We can use a skill again, and there we go. And now what we will do is use Phainon's skill like so. Then we can follow up here with Cerydra's ultimate, and then also follow up here with Phainon's ultimate, and boom, there we go. And now we are in the departed state with Phainon. He is looking awesome. And as you guys can see right above his head, we can see how many points of charge we have, which at the moment it is 7 out of 6. And then real quick, we can just see all of these buffs here that he has, which is awesome. Bunch of buffs right here. And then if we take a look at his stats, we have over 6,000 attack. We are a bit overcapped on the crit rate, unfortunately, but that's just my relics currently equipped on him. We can go a little bit lower on the crit rate, as you guys can see, but we have also an okay amount of crit damage as well. And now what we're going to do is we can take advantage of the duplicate skill thanks to Cerydra, and boom, and now we get to do another one right after, and boom, there we go. Yeah, that other guy that was beside this stingray looking thing is just a goner now. So we could just basic attack like so. We can basic attack once again. And now it's going to invite its little friends, but no problems here. We are going to get hit a bit, but this is okay. And I'll just basic attack one more time. So now we have 7 out of 4 stacks for our meteor. Oh shoot, I realized I'm in the way. Okay, my bad guys, but we have 7 out of 4 stacks at the moment. So we are just going to use the meteor like so. And boom. And now what we can do is we have 5 out of 6 points. So what we can do is just basic attack Japard right here. Now we'll get duplicate skill and we can use it once again. Boom. And then we have another one. Boom, and he's already at 2%. And there we go. The battle is literally over. Yep, there we go. We were just done with that. We unfortunately sent Japar to the Shadow Realm. I don't think we're ever going to see Japar again after that. He literally didn't get to move. None of them, that Stingray and Japar, both of them did not get to even like move a little muscle to try to attack us. We just kind of killed them. So yeah, so that's a pretty nice usage right there of Cerydra's duplicate skill. Of course, on other enemies, you can definitely take advantage of this as well. The main thing you would want to keep in mind of, in particular with Phainon and Cerydra, is that ensuring when you do get the duplicate skill ready, so you have 6 out of 6 points of charge, I would say definitely try to ensure that you are able to use the enhanced skill with his meteor, just so you're able to do what I was just able to show off, where the meteors will be able to attack the enemies twice, because let's say it was 1,000,000 damage, now you're basically able to do 1,000,000 damage twice. Or even if it was higher than that, let's say it was 2,000,000 damage, now you're able to do that twice. So that's what I enjoy doing when I am playing Phainon and Cerydra together. And of course, if we take a look at the builds real quick, here is Phainon. He is using his signature light cone, but if you would like to use a free-to-play option, you can consider On the Fall of an Aeon. For his traces, they're maxed out. For his relics, we are using the Woven Dreams set, and then also Wave Strider Captain. And then here are each of his pieces. Lastly, for his Eidolons, he is E0. Now we have Cerydra right here. For her traces, they are maxed out. For her relics, we are using Lushaka and then the Ordeal set. For her rope, you can either go with attack or energy regen. For her Eidolons, she is E0, as you guys can see. Here we have Sunday. Trace is maxed out. For his relics, we are using Lushaka and Ordeal. Lastly, for his Eidolons, he is E0. And now we have Remembrance Trailblazer. They do have Memory Curtain Never Falls. Trace is maxed out. Then lastly, they are also E6. And yeah, that's basically the Phainon showcase. Cerydra and Phainon are a pretty powerful pair. And I am also going to be showing off Cerydra with other damage dealers as well. I do have a couple in mind that I will be showing off very soon. But if you're interested in a very specific team or specific damage dealer, do let me know in the comments down below and I can try my best to do that showcase for you all. Now, you may be wondering, is Cerydra worth pulling? So for those that have Phainon or a character like Anaxa, Cerydra will be a very powerful synergy to consider just because of the fact that Cerydra can allow them to duplicate their skill, and this can allow Phainon to be able to use double enhanced meteor attacks as you guys saw throughout the showcase, and this will also allow Anaxa to be able to use his skill 4 times in a row once you have 6 points of charge. So for those two characters in particular, Cerydra is definitely a very powerful character to use alongside them, and they can also benefit from the buffs she provides, which can be the crit damage, the ult type res pen, the attack, and there's also the speed as well. But if you do not have either of these characters, then I would say it is a bit more difficult to recommend Cerydra at the moment, which I have mentioned this in previous videos. And let's say in the case that you don't have Phainon, or maybe you don't have an Anaxa, you may end up getting better synergies in the future, which in that case, she could end up being potentially better to pick up during a rerun, just to see what future characters we get if they synergize very nicely with her kit. But that is just my personal opinion when it comes to if she is worth pulling. And I hope you all did enjoy this video, and if you did, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye-bye!